Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Energy solidified is matter, and when matter breaks, energy is released. Therefore, energy is never created and matter is never destroyed. These are the two aspects of the same principle. Keeping this in view, Kundalini Shastra talks about the energy and the matter. When the energy is completely solidified, the life is lived at material level. So we start living as body. And when matter gathers speed or momentum, energy is released. So this principle is worked out in this Kundalini Yoga. So we are first told in Kundalini Yoga that when you sit quiet, then chant the mantra. Om. Now when this Om is chanted, these sound waves are bombarded on the Mooladhara chakra, which is the lowest part of the energy. By this constant bombardment of Om sound waves, as if that center is shaken. And when it is shaken, that energy starts getting as if released. When matter is broken, energy is released. So this is the principle in Kundalini, wherein the student is told about this particular aspect. So whether you take Om and bombard that particular place in our psyche, these centers are not physical structures. These are at the psychological plane, and their place in our gross body is this Mooladhara chakra is at the base of the spine. So the place between the anus and the genital organ, it is in that place that the Mooladhara chakra is situated. So that is the base. So either you chant Om or you chant Gayatri mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. When I chanted only twice, you can start feeling the pulsation and a throb at the Mooladhara chakra. In this manner, by the bombardment of the sound waves, this Mooladhara chakra is awakened. Now normally people are satisfied and remain only up to there. But that is not the only thing. When we are living at Mooladhara chakra, we live as a body. Opening of the Mooladhara chakra means giving up the body identification. If the body identification is not given up, then the desires start coming in our mind. Because what is the desire? Desire is to have something so that we find completeness, we find fulfillment. When we have taken food up to the nose and the best chocolate comes in front of us, we won't eat because there is no place. In the same manner, when we have discovered that we are only this body alone, so a sense of incompleteness. To remove that sense of incompleteness, there is a desire. And that desire starts manifesting at the second center called as the Swadhisthana chakra. This Swadhisthana chakra is just little above the genitalia. And it is here that the desire, the kama, the desire to have something, not only the procreation, but all kinds of desires to interact and gain something. This becomes active. So first, Mooladhara chakra opening means recognition that as long as I consider myself to be the body alone, I am going to have limitations of the body and associated sufferings. There is no way out. So what is the correct understanding of the Mooladhara chakra? Is not only opening that, no. Understanding that whenever I am identified with the body, I keep on thinking about the gross world. The moment the identification drops, everything disappears. Now the second understanding about the Swadhisthana chakra. As long as there is a sense of limitation, the desires are bound to be. And then the desires have no end. And then these desires make us activated. So desires activated is action. Now see the step by step. When I think myself to be body, desires are born. When desires are there, they will put me into action. And when I do action, there will be impressions on the mind. And these impressions subsequently will again propel me into activity. And in this manner, this is a continuous process. To break it, we have to have correct understanding. And this understanding is when we have come to the Manipur chakra, there we come to discover we may have anything in the whole world. We can never find fulfillment. This is indicated in our scriptures by beautiful stories. Like there was a king and he ruled the earth for 10,000 years, and after that he handed over his kingdom to his eldest son, went to the forest, and there he did tapasya, meditation, and merged with the Lord. Now when this story we hear, we start learning something what is never meant. What we learn, how it is possible to live 10,000 years, cock and bull story. That is not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, even if you are a king, Even if you are ruling the world for 10,000 years, yet you can never find fulfillment in your life. Therefore, if we really want to discover bliss, happiness, we have to rise above these three chakras. This rising above the three chakras is done through understanding and wisdom. This process of thinking gives us a very clear picture about what life we are living presently. And if we don't learn from the experiences of our own life, even God will fail to teach us. I'll give an example. I had a friend, I don't know where is he now. He was a government servant and sometimes used to come for my talks. Once he came and he said, Swamiji, I am so disturbed, I don't know what I should do. I said, what happened? He said, you know, I got married last year. I said, yes. Within 1 year, my wife delivered a daughter. I said, congratulations. He said, I don't know what to do. She delivered the baby alive, but she died. I said, anyway, everything will be all right, take it cool. Then, after 3 years, again he met me. He told his story. Do you remember last time this happened? So my mother told me that how long are you going to remain alone? Who will look after the child? So for the sake of the child, get married again. So I again got married. Again the same thing is repeated. Again a baby is delivered and a wife died. Twice it happened. I don't know what is going to happen. So now 2 daughters without mother. The grandmother was looking after. Again after 2-3 years, again he repeats this thing. Now if a person cannot learn from his own experiences of life that in relational existence there cannot be peace, we have to go out of it, beyond it. So going beyond doesn't mean separation. Going beyond means understanding relational existence is only relative. It can never give us absolute joy. With this understanding we live in this world, we have grown out of the lower 3 chakras. Such a person starts remaining undisturbed. And for that purpose, our thinking, regular listening to Satsang, analyzing our own experiences is one of the spiritual practice. And when this is done, now such a person is able to sit quiet on the seat of meditation. And then he starts opening up the 4th center, wherein there is a clear cut, like a cricket match, a clear understanding. There is I thought versus not I thought. This I thought is supporting the not I thoughts, therefore they are becoming powerful. And more the not I thought, fatter the I thought. And this goes on continuously. Now who has to stop? It is the I thought who has to devalue the not I thoughts. When the I thought devalues the not I thoughts, they disappear. Then the thought aspect of the I also goes away. And then there is only I without you or he or she or it or they. This absolute I is called as God. Immaculate purity. only listening to this. See how coolly we have gone deep in our own existence. Like, let there be any waves on the surface of the ocean. When we dive deep, the disturbances on the ocean surface do not touch us if we are deep in the ocean. In the same manner, a person who is deeply rooted in his consciousness, there will be waves on the surface of the ocean. At the level of the body, there will be body problems. At the level of the mind, there will be mind problems. But these problems will not disturb us. Therefore, the conclusion is, if we learn this consciously, that we refuse to get disturbed, discover new techniques. One of the technique I'll tell you. One day one girl came and was crying and said, Swamiji, I am always being, treated like this thing. I was told like this, and then he said like that, but he never did like this, and I am always deceived. I said, look here. If you really want to be happy in this world, write off your rights. Don't have any right on anybody in this world. Zero expectation level. See? When we have zero expectation, every moment is a surprise. And surprises make us happy, is it not? When we give a present to a child, what do? We don't open and give. We wrap it, and then give it to him. So there are 15, 20, 30 presents have come. Everybody goes. Now the child is very anxious. What I have got, why do I have? And then the mother and the father, now you open, they are your presents. We don't do anything. And the child is struggling. He doesn't know what it is. And when he gets something, what he wanted, unexpectedly, that gives him more joy. In the same manner, we expect nothing in this world. Therefore, whatever we get is a surprise. See how beautiful it is. I'll give you an example. There is a husband, he has a lot of expectations from his wife. And those expectations can never be fulfilled. Result, he will be miserable. Now the second husband, he has zero expectations. So whatever she does is a surprise. Hey, today you cook, wonderful. He never expected that she will cook. See, life becomes so beautiful. And when we start living with this technique, no right on anybody. See, it is such a simple technique. We have no right on anybody in the whole world. Do we have right on our own body? That wretched body doesn't listen to us. We want to go for meditation class, but in the morning, karr, karr, karr. Oh, I'm so sorry, I wanted to come for meditation, but somehow I slept. Why? Body doesn't listen to us. See? Therefore, friends, we rise above all these limitations. Net result, we will be at peace all the time. Peaceful mind is a mine of all solutions. A disturbed mind is a mind of all the problems. See? The other day I was in Atlanta, staying with one of my friends, and he had a son, 8 years or 7 years. In his whole room, he has opened all the parts of some kind of mechano, and he was wanting to construct an aeroplane. So he was looking at the diagram, and finally he got so annoyed. Mommy, see, I am not able to do it. So she said, you go and ask Swamiji. Swamijis are available for everything. So he came. Swamiji, see, I am not able to do this. I said, will you listen to me? Yes. Go for playing. Go for playing. Don't worry about it. And after you go and play sometime, then you come, and if you are tired, go to sleep. But I want to do that. I said, you are going to listen to me or not? Yes, I'll listen. Then go. He went for half an hour playing, and he was really tired, and came and slept, and after about an hour he got up. I said, hey, now begin. And in no time, he was able to do that. He said, Swamiji, what you have done? I said, magic. What was the magic? When he was disturbed, even the things which are in front of you, you can't see them. Therefore, all the spiritual practices keep our mind cool, but not sleepy. Sleepy mind is also cool. No. Alert, quiet, and vigilant. Quiet mind is undisturbed mind. Alert mind is awakened mind. That mind which is able to see beyond the normal perceptions. Like Newton saw beyond the fall of the apple, the law of gravity. In the life of this Einstein, it comes. Whenever there is to be problems in his studies or understanding, he used to go down in his one room. In that room there is nothing except one chair. He'll go and just sit there quiet. And in that quietness, the most intricate formulae or the problem, he used to get the solution. Therefore, it is one of the highest achievement in the spiritual path. Don't get disturbed. Remain cool. That is to be consciously practiced. And to remain cool and not getting disturbed, what we do? We booze. Now I don't feel disturbed at all. What is happening? Nothing, never mind. That is not quietness. We are killing our intellectual faculty. No. So we remain quiet, we remain alert. And third, we remain vigilant, just to see whether the mind is becoming again drowsy, again the mind is reacting according to the old habits. No, it should not. Living in this alertness is called as awakening of the Kundalini. When this happens, three things start happening in our life. One, all the undertakings which we begin, they are bound to be successful. Such a person, whatever job he takes in his hand, is bound to be successful, because now he is no more functioning from the relative standpoint. His performance is from altogether a different plane of existence. Second thing, his understanding is quick, fast and lasting. Many a times we study something, nothing goes in our head. The same paragraph we keep on reading. I don't know what happened. What is this? Why this happens? Because mind is totally dull. When the Kundalini is awakened, you only take the book once you open and see, everything is recognized. What exactly is there? And third, when the Kundalini Shakti is awakened, we are blissful under all conditions. That is the meaning of awakening the Kundalini Shakti. And such a person becomes a source of inspiration for others. Such a person becomes a source of solution for others. Such a person becomes a guide for those who want to seek the truth. See? And the words of such a master, they go and directly touch the hearts of the listener. What is the reason? He is talking from there where truth alone is. This is called as understanding life through meditation according to the Kundalini Yoga. In this, there is no crystallization of I versus you. Because from the Vishuddha Chakra, from the purity, the I-less I, the thought-free I, the consciousness, now slowly starts migrating as if the power Kundalini starts awakening and comes to the Agya Chakra. A person who is born with this place opened is called as Paramahamsa. And all the sadhana in the Siddha Marga which is done, it is only to go to that Paramahamsa state. And the state of this Paramahamsa is, from our point of view, like the mad person. The happiness of a madman and the happiness of this Paramahamsa is equal. But the mad person, he doesn't know that there is a problem, therefore he is happy. And the Paramahamsa has transcended the problems, therefore he is happy. See the difference? And when we reach this Agya Chakra, life is lived. There is nobody who is living life. Perception and understanding changes. Because now one has reached a peak. To understand this, take an example. There is a hillock like this, and there are 4 people in the 4 corners, and there is one 5th one on the top. So everyone will insist that what I say, that alone is the path to the truth. They can never understand that all of them are reaching the same. As a result, at the base level of the hillock, they will be having a distance, differences, disintegration, discord, and all the time enmity, I versus you. And a person who has really reached the top, when he looks from there, he only smiles. They know not. Whichever path you take, that is not important. What is important? You have reached the summit or not. That is important. This summit is reached by the Paramahamsa, who is living in the Agya Chakra. And therefore, for him, everything is bliss. Every word becomes meaningful. How every word becomes meaningful, I'll give an example. There was a great saint, a Paramahams, near Pilani, where I go every year for teaching. And that saint was responsible for the richest family in India, called as the Birlas. Now, the 3 or 4 generations before, one man from that Birla family, he came to this Mahatma. This Mahatma told him, you go to the east, don't stop, don't come back. You will become the monarch of the whole world. And he started going. On the way, he saw a big cobra, and on the top of the cobra was sitting a sparrow, a golden sparrow. He saw it on the way, and he got frightened. I think there is some kind of bad omen, and he came back to the same Mahatma. That Mahatma said, you fool, why did you come back? Now go again, don't stop, don't come back. And for last 4 generations, that one family is ruling the whole financial houses of India. He told, you go, you will rule the world. Now, that Mahatma, he was doing the upasana, and that upasana, the worship, his kundalini was awakened, and when it awakened, he could not talk, and he started da, something up to da he came, D for donkey, da he came, and he stopped there. And thereafter he used to only say one word, da, 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 da. Anything, anybody he tells, da, 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 it happens. This power to give meaning to any word is when we start living not at the body level, Mooladhar, not fulfilling our desires at Swadhisthana, not being greedy at the Manipur, not struggling with the mind at the Anahata, not only satisfied, now nothing disturbs me, I am consciousness. No, he has still gone further and established in this Agya Chakra, wherefrom there is but one absolute consciousness. He has reached the summit. This is the purpose of this Kundalini Yoga. But what happens when we start gathering divine powers? We get lost, and we are satisfied only with this. The same thing is true in case of yoga. That is why Yoga Shastra very clearly tells, don't get carried away by the 8 kinds of powers. Don't get carried away by the divine magical powers that you invoke. But it is very difficult. When a person has an art of singing, he cannot keep quiet, he will sing. A person who has got an art of drawing beautiful things. See, I was in Ireland for my camp, Ireland or Wales somewhere. After my camp was over, on the last day, one elderly gentleman, very good friend of mine, when he was listening to me, he is a great artist, born artist, very old man. So what he did, after everything was over, he came and gave me one paper. And what was that paper? On that paper, he has drawn my picture so beautiful. So when he was listening, he was all the time looking at me, and I thought he is listening, but he was looking at me. And after he comprehended my complete figure, then he was having his pencil and paper and doing like this thing, and I thought he is listening. But after the lecture was over, Swamiji, this is your portrait. This small little power we have, we can't hide it. We have to exhibit it. When much more divine powers come up in us, do you think we'll be not influenced by that? We will be influenced. That is why we must pray to the Lord that, O Lord, let me not be victimized by my own abilities. There is a lady in Delhi. She is known to me for last many years. When I was in Delhi, she was my driver. All 3 years I stayed there. She used to drive me everywhere. She is very intelligent, a high school principal, very bright career, extremely wonderful in her English. So, she used to sing so well. One day she said, Swamiji, you please tell me some spiritual practice. I want to do that. I will do it. I said, will you do that? Yes. Now she expected I'll give her mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I didn't do that. She thought that I'll tell her, you read Bhagavad Gita. I didn't do that. She thought I will tell her do meditation. I didn't tell her that. I said, will you do please? Yes, Swamiji. I said, stop singing. When I told her, you stop singing, she started crying. She said, Swamiji, you are the second Mahatma who has told me this. Earlier also, in Rishikesh, I was in some place, and to some unknown Mahatma I did namaskar and asked the same question. Maharaji, please bless me, what sadhana I should do. And he told me this, don't sing. And yet I am singing. And you again told me, don't sing. I will stop, I will not sing. But I just want to know, why should not I sing? I said, Amma, I do not know. If you want to see, you sing, who cares? But what came from my heart, I told you. I said, you find out what could be the reason. And then after a month or two, she came. She said, Swamiji, probably when I sing, I become more and more emotional. When we become too much emotional, we get caught up in body identification. We have to rise above that. Therefore, friends, Kundalini Yoga is not becoming holier than thou. No. Merging in the totality. That is very, very important. Or else, we do all this practice, pranayam, going to the temple, doing the yogasanas, doing the charity, Bhagwan Shankaracharya writes in his Bhaja Govindam, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Danam. These are the very spiritual practices. We go to the holy places. We observe some vows. We keep on chanting Lord's name. We do a lot of charity. You may do all that, but it has nothing to do with realization. Unless we go out of the relative existence and get established in the absolute, there is no way. There are three levels at which life is expressed. One, I versus you. Second, I versus God. Third, God versus I. And fourth, beyond this relative existence. I versus you is the life what we are all living. Constantly. I did like this, you did like this. I said like this, you said like this. Constantly. I, you, I, you, I. No end to that. When we grow out of it, then I and my Lord. When I am living against you, there is a competition. When I am living against you, there is a jealousy. When I is living against you, there is success or failure. Now the second level, I live against Him, the Lord. So the effect is living against the cause. The wave is living against the ocean. Will the wave ever compete with the ocean? No. There cannot be any competition. Then there will be competition with ourselves. Now this is very important point. When we compete with ourselves, we are spiritual seekers. When we compete with others, we are a materialist in this world. We compete with ourselves like what? Earlier, I used to sleep 18 hours a day. Now, I sleep 17 and a half hours a day. Oh, very good. There is improvement. Earlier, I used to become angry at least 100 times per minute. Now, I become angry 99 times per minute. Oh, there is a great achievement. But what do we do? Everybody becomes angry. I am not the one only who becomes angry. So you are comparing your anger with the other angry people. By that you can never improve. See the important thing. So when we relate ourselves with the Lord, our competition is not with others. Our competition is with our own performance. That is what is called as awakening of the Kundalini. And when this starts happening, slowly, we discard our negativities because we are inspired by the Lord. Such a person enters the path of devotion. Therefore, in this Kundalini Yoga, a lot of puja, a lot of worship of the God, that is all taught. Because there now you have a relative existence, but not comparative, but it is submissive. We submit, O Lord, thy will be done. We submit to the divine will. And when we be very attentive, when we submit to the divine will, our desire becomes null and void. When we get freedom from our desire, we have entered the halls of divinity. Kathopanishad says, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hrudi sthitaha atha martyaha amruto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. He who has transcended all the desires of the relative existence, he is God. Godly existence is desireless existence. See? Therefore, in Kundalini Yoga, they will be doing the worship of the God, the Goddess. And then there will be this Shat Chakra Vedant. Every center is opened. Opened means what? Understanding is growing. And when we change the position, then I, who was worshipping the Lord, this I disappears. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to give a story. A doll made out of salt, a doll made out of salt went to see and measure the depth of the ocean. And that doll of the salt jumped into the ocean to find out how deep the ocean is. Will that doll ever come out? In the same manner, when this limited I surrenders and submits totally to the absolute reality, that limited I disappears. See? Before the divine light, this relative light is not of any consequence. Thereafter, life is lived. And it is not our desire which is manifesting. It is He has chosen us as His instrument. And then His desire is manifested through us. Therefore, all the great masters say, by God's will it may happen. It is His will, things will happen. Because I am no more anybody who is doing something. This doership, the desire, these diseases of your ego, everything disappears. Life attains fulfillment. There is nothing more to be achieved. There is nothing more to be gained. There is nothing more to be protected. There is no fear of loss. This completeness in existence, where there are no differences. See, that great master said, O Lord, forgive them, they know not what they are doing, when he was crucified. And the followers again, they have again that cruelty. We will see that we will kill him. And we claim we are his followers. What forgiveness? Constant jealousy, hatred throughout the whole world. Because we are nowhere near that absolute reality. That is why, friends, if you want really a spiritual guidance, approach that master who has nothing to achieve in this world. If somebody has to do something, get something, achieve something in this world, he will use us. He will not tell us the truth. He who has nothing to achieve, nothing to gain, nothing to give, he alone can tell us the truth. Living as the absolute through the relative is realization. Living as one, although expressing through many, is realization. Like, it is I alone who is one, who is expressing through the eyes as a seer, through the ears as a hearer, through the tongue as a speaker. But I is one. In the same manner, there is but one consciousness which is functioning through all the bodies. And therefore, as there is no competition between the eyes and the mouth, in the same manner, when we come to discover that this conscious reality is the truth, where is a question of competition and contradictions? See, will the electrical bulb compete with the fridge? Will the fridge compete with the motor? Will the motor, electrical motor, compete with the magnetic power? No. They are different expressions of the same original electrical energy. In the same manner, living as consciousness is culmination of awakening of the Kundalini Shakti. Such masters have fulfilled their existence. You enter the area of silence, which is eternal. In this absence of sound, is revealed the presence, the divinity. Living as pure consciousness and playing the game of life is awakening of the Kundalini Shakti. In this, there is no body who is remaining. Somebody is remaining up to Vishuddha Chakra, up to the throat center. but that somebody dissolves at Agya Chakra, which is between the eyebrows. Now these addresses are only for references, but in fact, when we transcend the Vishuddha Chakra at the throat level, the body disappears. Only consciousness remains. Therefore, such masters, whether they are in the cold or the heat, they are unaware of their body. They are functioning through the body, but living as consciousness. This is the correct understanding of Kundalini Yoga. Now, in this silence which I am deliberately living, when you focus on the silence, you hear many more subtle sounds which you have not heard so far. But if you remain aware, those sounds also disappear. And we go beyond sound and silence in the absolute presence. In this process of understanding, we have not done anything. Only we started becoming aware of subtle existence. In this being, there is nobody who is knowing something through mind. Our conscious existence is established not through the sense organs, not through the feeling of mind, not through the conceptualization of intellect, and not through a knower. In just being, there is nobody left. This is liberation from I. Without any efforts, the body posture has become perfect. Without any efforts, breathing is negligible. Without any efforts, the mind is thought free. Firm abidance in consciousness is realization of the truth. What is the experience of space when the planets move? Same is this experience when the whole world is in turmoil. This conscious space is uninfluenced. This Chidakash is the truth to be recognized. When we practice this understanding of Kundalini Yoga, there are few obstacles. One of them is we start enjoying this. And we want to repeat it again and again. And it never happens. Because when we want something to happen again, we have created a wall of expectation. Hence, never make a memory of this experience. It is now and here. In fact, we have not gained anything. On the contrary, we have lost everything, including the ego. This total loss of relative existence is like discovering the cover which was hiding the gem. Ishavasya Upanishad gives this prayer. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavruno satyadharmaya drishtaye. The glitter and the din and the roar of relativity covers the absolute reality. O Lord, please remove this relative existence so that I merge in the absolute. This formless, nameless, attributeless, beginningless, changeless, and endless, eternal presence is complete awakening of the Kundalini. Take a deep breath or two. By this deep breathing, we create waves in the consciousness and the mind is born. With the birth of the mind, body identification takes place. With the body identification, I versus not I is created, and the world of relative existence begins. This is the path from the relative to the absolute. In the absolute alone is the bliss. In the relative there is no bliss. With this understanding, Kundalini Yoga becomes meaningful, or else it only remains as jerks and funny experiences. That is not. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.